Okay, so every one of you have just adjust your camera a bit. Okay, how many of you have done algebra? How many of you have done algebra in school? Covered the topic already? Covered. Most of you did. Yeah, okay, well done. Okay, so the first question in the worksheet is actually algebra. Okay, so why are you angry, Brian? Angry or sad?
Nothing.
Okay. Now, this is your algebra question. All right. So, like algebra is similar to units and parts that you have been doing. Okay, except that algebra uses, oh, okay, pie chart. Well, how many of you are at pie chart now? Anyone besides Hannah? Brian? Only Brian? Zul? Okay. Who else? Crystal? Okay. So some of you are at pie chart. Okay. Now, the answer, yes, Kaisa, the answer is 62. Okay, so here, total mass of Zach and Lucas. So Zach and Lucas, the total mass is 12A. And we know that Zach is 5A. So that makes Lucas 7A. Okay, so with this, since they tell us that A equals to 9, that means for Lucas, which is 7 times 9 to give us 63 kg. So all you need to do is replace this here. Okay, replace that there. So if they ask us what is the total mass of Lucas and Zach, will be, I just have to replace this by 9. Okay, to give me 108. Okay, so if they ask us that, otherwise, stick to the question. Okay, now for this question, for those of you who have it printed out, I think it's easier for you to draw using your ruler. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from the screen and show you. Now, identify P, Q, and PR are two sides of a rectangle. You're supposed to identify S in the square grid to complete the rectangle. So for me to complete the rectangle, I copy the length or the width, which happened to stop at this part here, the point where you have 21. And then this line here, okay, obviously you cannot do this, right? But I can. So the point S is here at number 21. Okay, so when you're doing this on paper, this is one type of question that is common in your booklet B or the first 5 marks of paper 2. So because these are quite common, you must know how to be able to use your set square and ruler. So that's why during the exams, you must remember to bring along your set square and the ruler. Yeah, okay, so that you can draw this correctly. Now, take note that all drawings should be in pencil, right? Okay, all drawings should be in pencil, so it's easier for you to erase in case you make mistake. All right, now if it's on a grid paper or on grid like this, if you were to use a correction tape, it'll be very tough for you. Okay, so just take note of this. All right, now for the third question, so we have, this is a type of what we call a grouping question. Okay, so this is a grouping question. So Ethan earns 50 cents for every magazine that he sells. So for one magazine that he sells, he earns 50 cents. But if he were to sell 80 magazines, okay, so this is already in terms of a group of 80 magazines. So for every 80 magazines that he sells, he will get 80 times 50 cents, plus he gets an additional bonus of $20. So in every set of 80 magazines that he sells, so one set of 80, he gets $40 plus $20 to give me $60. So he'll get $60. So now, if he were to sell 214, now to get 214, in order to find how much he gets, what do we do first? Anyone? Yes, Brian.
There are two groups of 80.
How do you get two groups of 80?
80 times 2, 160.
Okay, so to find number of groups of set, you actually do this, 240, you divide by 80 because you want to find the number of sets or the number of groups, right? Now, if you were to punch in your calculator 214 divided by 80, you would actually get 2.675. Okay. Now, that's not the 0.675 is not the amount of money. Okay. So take note. So you must key in what's the remainder. So you have to go back to the earlier P3, P4 where you learn how to do division to find the remainder. So in this case, if I take 2 times 80, will give me 160. To find the remainder would be, I take 214 minus 160 to give me 54. Okay, so 54, my remainder is 54. That means he gets bonus from selling 2 groups of 80 magazines. So that's 2 groups of 80 magazines, 2 times $60 plus this 54 magazines that he sells. It is not 80, so he will get each of them 50 cents. Okay, so I will have 54 times 0.50 to give me a total of $147. 214 times 0. Now, Kaisa, you see, if you take 214 times 0.5, you will not get 147. You would actually get 107. Okay, all right. So take note, you need to add the additional bonus of $40 because it's 2 sets. Okay. Now, so $147. Okay, let's look at question number 4. Question number 4. You have to take note of the properties of a trapezium. Okay, property of a trapezium. You must also take note of property of a right angle triangle. Okay, so, okay. Yes, actually the 54 is supposed to multiply by 50 cents, not divide by 50 cents, because that's the 54 magazines that you sell. Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm going on to this one. So understand the properties of trapezium. So trapezium made out of 2 parallel lines. Okay, so as long as the angle within the parallel line, this angle must add up to give you 180 degrees. So they tell us that PQRS is a trapezium. Okay, so with this, you can see that because it's a trapezium, that means this side is parallel. Okay, so again, property of trapezium, this angle must add up to give you 180 degrees, right? So angle QPS is equals to 180 minus 78 to give me 102. So same thing with this. Angle QRS is equals to 180 minus 62 degrees to give me 118. Okay, so 180 minus 62 to give you 118. Now, take note that there is this part here, which is a parallel line. These two are parallel lines. So if this is 78, that means this angle, which is QRV, is equals to 180 minus 78 to give me 102. So this angle here is 102. Okay, now because you want to find the angle RUT, what you need to do would be to find, this is what you want to find. And can you see that this is a triangle? Okay, let me highlight it instead. Can you see that this is a triangle, right angle triangle? Okay, so, and we know these two angles. Okay, we know these two angles. So that means we can actually find angle TRU, which is this small angle here. TRU, which is equals to 118 minus 102 to give me 16 degrees. So sum of angles in a triangle is how much? Sum of angles in a triangle is, yes, thank you very much, Hannah.
180 degrees.
Thank you. Okay, so it's 180 degrees. So I know that this is 90. This is 16 degrees. So that means angle RUT would be 180 minus 90 and 16 to give me 74 degrees. Okay, sum of angles in a triangle. So that's why it's important that you understand the properties of the shapes. What are the three shapes that you must know? Trapezium. Anyone? Trapezium, what else?
Parallelogram.
Only Brian now. Okay, let me ask
Rhombus.
Lucas. Rhombus. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so these are the three shapes that you must know. What about the three triangles that you must know?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. Okay.
Equilateral.
Equilateral, and one more?
Right angle.
Triangle. Actually, there's one more, right? Oh yeah, there's three. And the other one is all sides are different. Okay. And then the other properties of straight lines will be your corresponding angles. We went through this before. Corresponding angles. What else? Starts with letter A. It forms a letter Z like this. What kind of angle is this? No, not acute. Yes, Hannah, you can do that too. What is this? Alternate. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, so Hannah said, so letter Z, the angles included would be known as alternate angles. And then so we corresponding angles, alternate angles, one more will be letter V.
Vertical angles.
Very good. Vertically opposite angles. So all these three, you must know 3 figures, 3 triangles, and 3 straight lines. All right. So you must know what are their properties. Okay, it is very helpful for you. Okay, question number 5 is a graph question that involves rate. Okay, it is a rate question that involves graph. Okay, now. Okay. So at first, a tank was filled with 80 liters of water. The water was drained out, so it must drop using 2 taps, P and Q. So again, there are 2 taps that is being drained, P and Q. Both taps were turned on at the same time, and after a few minutes, tap Q was turned off. So the moment one tap was turned off, there is a change in the steepness. Okay, so this is called steepness of the graph. Okay, steepness. Later on, when you go to secondary school, you will learn that there is a name to the steepness of the graph. Okay, so you want to know just for the general knowledge, this is known as a gradient. Okay, this is not a gradient. I'm not sure whether your teacher has ever taught you before, but just for general knowledge, in secondary school, you will learn this, how to find the gradient of a graph. But at this point, you just need to know the moment the steepness of the slope changes, that means there is a change in the tap that was turned on to drain the water. So that means this is where Q was turned off. Okay, so Q was turned off. So that means at this point, it is only tap P that was draining water. Now, how much water was being drained? So can you see at the 6-minute mark to the 16-minute mark, that means this is your 10 minutes.